Right now, many people are struggling financially, battling sickness, or feeling lost in a world full of confusion. It can be hard to trust God when prayers seem unanswered, when life feels like hopeless. But faith is about who we trust. Elijah's story teaches us that no matter how dark things seem, God is still in control. His story about standing firm in faith while respecting the choices of those around us. Let's journey back to a time when one man stood alone, trusting God against impossible odds. For 3 years, not a drop of rain had fallen. The land was cracked and lifeless, and so were the hearts of the people. Many had turned away from God, following King Ahab and Queen Jezebel in worshiping Baal. But where was Baal now? The skies remained silent. Then came Elijah, a prophet who refused to waver in his faith. He stood before King Ahab and boldly challenged him. Summon the people of Israel to Mount Carmel and bring the 450 prophets of Baal. Let's see whose God is real. Ahab, curious yet furious, agreed. Thousands gathered on the mountaintop, watching as the prophets of Baal prepared their sacrifice. Elijah stood alone, but he was not afraid. He turned to the people and asked, "How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him." Silence. The people didn't know what to believe anymore. The challenge was simple. Both sides would prepare an altar and sacrifice. The real God would send fire from heaven. The prophets of Baal went first. They danced, they shouted, they cut themselves, begging Baal to answer. Hours passed, nothing. Elijah couldn't help but smirk. "Shout louder. Maybe he's asleep or traveling." Frustrated and exhausted, they gave up. Then Elijah stepped forward. He rebuilt the altar of the Lord with 12 stones, one for each tribe of Israel. To make things even harder, he ordered the sacrifice to be drenched with water until it overflowed into a trench. Then he lifted his hands and prayed, "Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God." At that very moment, fire rained down from heaven. It devoured the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, even the water in the trench. The people fell on their faces, crying out, "The Lord, He is God." Elijah's faith had turned the hearts of a nation back to God. Moments later, the sky darkened and rain finally poured down, breaking the 3-year drought. Elijah's story teaches us 3 powerful lessons. Faith means trusting God, even when things seem impossible. God answers in His time, never early, never late. Respecting others' beliefs is important, but standing firm in your own faith is even more important. If you're struggling today, remember Elijah's story. God sees you, He hears you, and at the right moment, He will answer. And if this message encouraged you, don't forget to hit that notification bell. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep spreading faith.